Chanel bags are interesting because the original things are really good. You know, they're really good quality, but then the rip-offs, good quality rip-offs, are almost as desirable as the real thing. Hi, my name's Ben Freeman. I run a company called Ditto, which is a arts and fashion publishing company, and co-run another business called Future Artifacts, which is about the future of the object. I think there's two angles to it. There's the authenticity angle and the fashion angle, and I think they're sort of happening at the same time. So I think there's a certain type of music fan who, like die-hard fans, and for them, merchandise has become the only thing that they can really buy to connect with the band. You know, you can go to live shows and you can buy merchandise. So in that respect, it's always been there, but it's maybe sort of got more value than it used to have. And then there's the other side of it, the fashion side, and there are people like kind of KTZ and Vetements and people like that who have kind of, you know, appropriated the language of merch, if you will, and then that's kind of filtered down to people like, filtered across to people like Kanye and Justin Bieber and that kind of thing. And that's really just, it's the language of merch. And I think the reason why people are interested in it is because of the authenticity of that language in the world of music, if you see what I mean. But I think it's nothing new. You know, people have been using that language for a good sort of 10, 15 years in the fashion world in different ways. And it's always really from the worlds of kind of, you know, quite niche, quite authentic music scenes like hardcore and, you know, certain types of metal and that kind of thing. All the big record shops and bookshops have really closed down, apart from Waterstones and Daunt, and you know there's a couple of bigger record shops, but really it's a lot more democratized. You know, people are selling these things directly to their audience, and that creates all kind. You know, it's good for everyone really. There's no need for it anymore, and that. Yeah, it's just healthy. It's just a healthy economy, and it's a more direct economy, and all of the sort of unnecessary middle ground is being cut away. There's an argument that things like videotapes and cassettes and vinyl were a sort of intermediate. They're like they're a sort of transitional medium, because ultimately, you know, now everything lives in the cloud. All of that stuff's unnecessary. So all of those things, you don't need loads of people in the middle of that economy just making money off it. You know, if you want to buy vinyl now, you just need the people who are making it, the people who are commissioning it, and the people who are buying it, and that's kind of good for everyone. All those middle people can go and do something more productive with their time now. I mean, the ethos of everything we've ever done at Ditto comes from DIY culture. You know, my background was in sort of hand-making fanzines and photocopying them and selling them at squat raves and metal shows and that kind of thing, and that's DIY. I think what makes something DIY though isn't whether or not it looks shit and photocopied. It's like, are you answerable to anyone? That's it. If you're doing something and there's nobody else funding it and there's no one that you're answerable to, you're doing it yourself. You know, and that, I think what's interesting at the moment is that what DIY looks like isn't necessarily scrappy. DIY now can look extremely professional, and a lot of the best fashion designers now, they don't have big budgets and they're not making a lot of money, but they're doing everything themselves. They're selling their own clothes, putting on their own shows, doing their own PR. They're doing everything. So it's still DIY culture. It just doesn't look like DIY culture anymore. Do you see what I mean?